Roller coasters, a place where excitement meets the edge of fear. They're designed to thrill, to make your heart race, to leave you breathless with joy. Millions of people line up every year, ready to trust the hum of machinery, the clatter of chains, and the security of a harness. For a few fleeting minutes they surrender to gravity and speed, craving the exhilaration only a roller coaster can deliver. But what if that thrill turned into a nightmare? The rise and fall of Son of Beast, a roller coaster of tragedy. It was supposed to be the ultimate thrill, a roller coaster so groundbreaking it broke records and redefined theme park innovation. But beneath its towering wooden frame lay a dangerous flaw, one that turned this engineering marvel into a harrowing cautionary tale. This is the story of the Son of Beast, the world's first and only wooden roller coaster with a vertical loop, a ride that left behind a trail of injuries, lawsuits, and shattered dreams. In the late 1990s, Kings Island Amusement Park in Mason, Ohio, was basking in the glory of its iconic wooden coaster, the Beast. Known as the world's longest wooden roller coaster, the Beast thrilled millions since its debut in 1979. But as the new millennium approached, Kings Island wanted to outdo itself. Their vision? A successor to the Beast, a ride so daring it would push the limits of wooden coaster design and cement their legacy as amusement park innovators. The Son of Beast was born out of this ambition. Standing a jaw-dropping 218 feet tall, with speeds reaching 78 miles per hour, it was poised to become the tallest, fastest wooden coaster in the world. The crown jewel? A 118-foot vertical loop, an engineering feat never attempted on a wooden structure. With a $20 million price tag, this was one of the most ambitious projects in roller coaster history. Construction began in the late 1990s, blending traditional wooden craftsmanship with steel reinforcements to support the extreme forces of the loop. When the Son of Beast opened in May 2000, it was met with fanfare and excitement. Thrill-seekers flocked to experience what was marketed as a one-of-a-kind ride. But behind the cheers and excitement, cracks, both literal and metaphorical, were forming. What started as an exhilarating ride quickly became a nightmare for many. Riders began reporting intense jolts, neck and back pain, and an overall rough experience.
So I was 12 years old when I rode Son of Beast, and I don't remember much in terms of forces or laterals, anything like that, but I do remember it was the roughest coaster I ever rode, without a doubt.
While wooden coasters are known for their bumps, Son of Beast was pushing the limits of comfort and safety. Maintenance crews worked tirelessly to address the issues, but the ride's extreme design pushed the wooden structure to its breaking point. The breaking point came on July 9, 2006. Midway through a ride, a cracked wooden beam in the Rose Bowl section caused a violent jolt, injuring 27 riders. Passengers reported bruises, fractured bones, and severe pain. Investigators determined that the cracked beam caused the incident, forcing the park to shut down the ride for extensive repairs. During these repairs, Kings Island made the tough decision to remove the vertical loop entirely, hoping to reduce the stress on the structure and improve safety. When the Son of Beast reopened in 2007, it was a shadow of its former self. The excitement was gone, replaced by skepticism and fear. Then in 2009, a woman reported suffering a severe head injury after riding the coaster. This sparked another wave of investigations. Although no mechanical defects were found this time, the incident proved to be the final straw. Mounting injuries, soaring maintenance costs, and a tarnished reputation forced Kings Island to close the Son of Beast indefinitely.
The tallest wooden roller coaster in the world was brought down to the ground today.
The injuries didn't just end with the ride's closure, they spilled over into courtrooms. After the 2006 accident, many of the 27 injured riders took legal action against Kings Island. They accused the park of negligence, arguing that the ride was poorly maintained and that their safety had been compromised. Faced with mounting lawsuits and the potential for negative publicity, Kings Island chose to settle many of the cases out of court. Although the settlement amounts were not disclosed, it's believed the park paid substantial sums to the victims to cover medical expenses, lost wages, and emotional trauma. The 2009 head injury claim only added to the legal pressure. While Kings Island defended itself by stating that the ride had been inspected and deemed safe, The lawsuit cast yet another shadow over the already infamous coaster. By the time the Son of Beast was dismantled in 2012, the park had spent millions not only on legal battles, but also on attempting to salvage the ride's reputation. For thrill seekers and coaster enthusiasts, the Son of Beast represented a bold step forward in roller coaster innovation. But its legacy is a cautionary tale. In the pursuit of records and adrenaline-pumping experiences, safety and practicality were overlooked, leading to devastating consequences. As the wrecking crews dismantled the towering wooden structure, many couldn't help but think of the riders who boarded with excitement, only to leave with injuries, trauma, or worse. The lawsuits, the chilling headlines, and the abandoned ride served as reminders of the human cost of unchecked ambition. Today, the Son of Beast lives on as a warning. No thrill is worth risking lives. In the world of amusement parks, innovation must always come second to safety. Tragedy at Luna Park, the ghost train fire. Luna Park, nestled along Sydney's Milsons Point, has long been a beacon of joy and excitement. Since its opening in 1935, it offered a whimsical escape from the everyday, with attractions that delighted visitors of all ages. But on the night of June 9th, 1979, the park's festive atmosphere was shattered by a catastrophic event that would etch itself into Australia's collective memory. This is the story of the ghost train fire, a tragedy that claimed 7 lives and left a nation grappling with unanswered questions. The ghost train was among Luna Park's most cherished attractions. Introduced in 1931, even before Luna Park's official opening, it promised patrons a thrilling journey through a labyrinth of haunted scenes, complete with sudden scares and eerie illusions. The ride's design, featuring wooden tracks and elaborate sets, was a testament to early 20th century amusement engineering. By the late 1970s, despite showing signs of age, the ghost train retained its allure, captivating both the young and the young at heart. June 9, 1979 was a Saturday like any other at Luna Park. Families and friends immersed themselves in the park's delights, unaware of the impending disaster. At approximately 10:15 p.m., as the ghost train carried passengers through its dimly lit tunnels, a fire ignited within the ride. The flames spread with alarming speed, feeding on the ride's wooden infrastructure and decorative materials. Panic erupted as dense smoke filled the air, and the once cheerful sounds of the park were overtaken by alarms and cries for help. The inferno claimed 7 lives, 6 children and 1 adult. Among them were John Godson and his 2 sons, Damien and Craig, who had been enjoying a night out together. Also lost were 4 young boys from Waverley College, Richard Carroll, Michael Johnson, Jonathan Billings, and Seamus Rahilly, all aged between 12 and 13. The tragedy sent shockwaves, leaving families devastated and a nation in mourning. In the wake of the disaster, authorities launched an investigation to determine the cause of the fire. Initial theories suggested an electrical fault, a plausible explanation given the ride's aging infrastructure. However, as the inquiry progressed, inconsistencies emerged. Some witnesses reported smelling kerosene, a potential accelerant, raising suspicions of foul play.
It was as shocking as it looks, and at a place that was supposed to bring joy, but instead brought immeasurable suffering.
To date, there's question marks in relation to how that fire started.
42 years on, and $1 million reward is being offered to help find answers. Panic overcame Luna Park when a large fire engulfed the ghost train ride in 1979.
Despite these accounts, the official inquest concluded with an open finding, unable to definitively ascertain the fire's origin. Over the years, various theories have surfaced regarding the true cause of the fire. Some point to notorious crime figure Abe Saffron, alleging he orchestrated the blaze to gain control over Luna Park's prime real estate. These claims suggest a web of corruption, arson, and cover-ups involving influential figures. In 2021, the documentary series Exposed the Ghost Train Fire delved deep into the incident, uncovering new evidence and reigniting calls for a thorough investigation. Families and advocates continue to demand justice, urging authorities to reopen the case and provide closure to those affected. The Treetop Twister tragedy, the death of Gemma Savage. Amusement parks are meant to be places of joy and excitement, where families and friends come together to create lasting memories. But for 20-year-old Gemma Savage, what began as a fun-filled day at Lightwater Valley in North Yorkshire ended in a tragedy that sent shockwaves across the UK and forever altered the lives of her loved ones. This is the heartbreaking story of Gemma's untimely death on the Treetop Twister roller coaster and the grim aftermath that followed. Lightwater Valley, nestled in Ripon, North Yorkshire, was a family favorite among theme park enthusiasts in the UK. Known for its scenic landscape and attractions, it was home to rides that catered to thrill-seekers and families alike. Among its roster of rides, the Treetop Twister stood out as a wild mouse-style roller coaster designed to deliver sharp turns, thrilling drops, and unpredictable spins. Manufactured by French company Reverchon Industries, the Treetop Twister was marketed as a state-of-the-art attraction, blending excitement with a family-friendly appeal. However, beneath its bright colors and promises of fun lay a series of flaws that would soon turn this ride into the site of a horrific accident. On June 20, 2001, Gemma and her friends from Durham University decided to visit Lightwater Valley for a day of fun and laughter. It was meant to be a break from the stresses of academic life, a day to relax, make memories, and enjoy the thrills the park had to offer. That afternoon, Gemma and her friends queued for the Treetop Twister, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. As their ride vehicle began its ascent, the anticipation of twists and turns was palpable. But what should have been an exhilarating experience quickly turned catastrophic. During the ride, a devastating collision occurred between two carriages on the track. Faulty wiring had caused a malfunction, resulting in one vehicle failing to stop as it collided violently with another. Gemma was seated in one of the impacted vehicles and suffered severe injuries, including catastrophic head trauma and spinal damage. Park staff quickly shut down the ride and emergency services were called. Gemma was airlifted to Leeds General Infirmary, where doctors worked tirelessly to save her life. Tragically, despite their efforts, Gemma succumbed to her injuries later that day. For her family, the loss was incomprehensible. The Savage family not only had to grapple with their grief, but also began a long and arduous journey to seek answers and justice for their beloved daughter. An extensive investigation into the accident revealed glaring oversights in the ride's safety protocols. It was discovered that faulty wiring had directly caused the malfunction, and maintenance practices at the park were brought into question. Alarmingly, it came to light that a maintenance worker responsible for inspecting the Treetop Twister had received only an hour of training and had never been given the ride's manual. The findings painted a grim picture of negligence, both on the part of Lightwater Valley and Reverchon Industries, the manufacturer of the ride. Reverchon's failure to ensure the safe design and installation of the ride, coupled with the park's inadequate maintenance practices, had created a deadly combination that cost Gemma her life. In the wake of Gemma's death, her family pursued legal action against Lightwater Valley, seeking justice for the preventable tragedy. The park faced charges for breaching health and safety regulations, while Reverchon Industries and the maintenance worker were also held accountable. In 2006, Lightwater Valley Attractions and the electrician responsible for the faulty wiring pleaded guilty to health and safety violations. Reverchon Industries was also convicted of 2 counts of failing to ensure the ride's safe design and construction. Although the exact details of any financial settlements with Gemma's family were not made public, it is widely believed that substantial sums were paid to compensate for the emotional and financial toll on her loved ones. Despite the park's attempts to improve safety measures following Gemma's death, the Treetop Twister remained a symbol of controversy. In May 2019, another horrifying incident occurred when a 6-year-old boy fell approximately 15 feet from the ride, sustaining critical injuries. The boy was rushed to the hospital, and the ride was immediately shut down.
So we were out 10 minutes from the front of the queue maybe, looked up from the queue, saw the lad hanging backwards outside the carriage of the actual ride, and about 2 or 3 seconds after that he actually fell out of the carriage to the ground. I lost sight of him, I couldn't see him then because there was some mechanical equipment in the way.
This second major incident raised serious questions about whether the ride should have been permanently decommissioned years earlier. Critics argued that the continued operation of the Treetop Twister reflected a troubling prioritization of profit over safety. For the Savage family, the pain of losing Gemma remains immeasurable. Their daughter's death highlighted the devastating consequences of neglecting safety in the pursuit of entertainment. It also spurred broader discussions about the accountability of amusement parks and ride manufacturers. The tragedy of the Treetop Twister is a chilling example of what happens when ambition and negligence collide. The ride, once marketed as a thrilling experience for families, became a symbol of grief and loss for those who loved Gemma Savage.